What's going on out there in the land of the unfree America? Just wanted to check in a little bit and talk about policy, procedure, and protocol. We're on a road trip, so I'll let you know where we land when we get there. But there's a couple things that have happened over the last few years since the body camera has come out. Now, what happened was, and I remember when I went to Arizona, when I very first started on this journey with you guys, I went to Scottsdale, Arizona, and there was a cop there, a councilman, a congressman, he was a congressman by the name of Kavanaugh. And Kavanaugh had been a cop on the East Coast for 2 or 3 decades. He'd been a cop in New Jersey or something like that. And then he retired to Scottsdale, but he didn't really retire to Scottsdale. When I started on this journey, being in front of the camera and taking a leadership role in teaching and understanding our civil liberties, I went to Scottsdale, Arizona. And there was this ex-cop, now state congressman in Arizona named Kavanaugh, and he had written a bill that said you had to be this far away from police. And Kavanaugh had written this bill. And so when I went there, I still remember the name of the bill. The bill was 2319 out of Arizona. It was eventually struck down as being unconstitutional. But the point is, though, is that's what's happened in our country, across our country. The Fraternal Order of Police has installed across the country in every city, state, and federal level of government, has installed different ex-cops in positions where they will write bills like the HALO law in Florida or the HALO law in Indiana, where they create this buffer zone around police. Now, that's one way that they're cutting out transparency for you and I to be able to see what is going on when they create that buffer zone where you can't get up close and film. And also the police can create literally a wall of police if you're too far away, so you can't see what they're doing. You can't see what's going on. And if we can't see what's going on, then of course, mold and bacteria are going to grow in the darkness where you can't see, and it's dirty and wet and nasty. And that's where the most corruption is going to grow. So now we move into what these lawmakers, these people who are ex-cops from New Jersey, in the case of Kavanaugh in Arizona, these ex-cops who then retire and then become lawmakers in their city or in their state. They're passing body camera laws where you can't get the body camera footage. Put a 1 in the chat if you cannot get the body camera footage. I have an email address. You guys can all email me. It's can'tgetbodycam@gmail.com. If you can't get the body cam, I'd like to hear your story. Someone could put the email address in the chat. It's can'tgetbodycam@gmail.com. So what these ex-cops have done, the ones ex-cops, I guess you would say, they're still cops because they're working for the cops, and they get into positions of government, and what they do specifically is they write laws so that we cannot get the body camera footage. Here in California, and I'm going to another state now, but here in California, you cannot get the body camera footage unless somebody is injured or dies, or you bring a federal suit against the state, or maybe a state tort lawsuit for police brutality or police abuse. Because I have filed for the body camera footage here in Southern California, 100, don't let me be hyperbolic. Realistically, I have filed for body camera footage in the state of California over a dozen times. Easily, I could say over 12 times I have filed for the body camera footage. Put a 1 in the chat if you have filed for the body camera footage, or you know somebody who's filed for the body camera footage and they couldn't get it. Okay, so let me tell you why that's happening. Because the Fraternal Order of Police is paying for and funding the campaigns of ex-cops to become legislators in your city, in your town, on your city council. Take a look at your own city council. How many of the city council on your city council are ex-cops, are the sheriff, are the ex-sheriff? How many? And think about that. It's an authoritarian perspective, an authoritarian point of view, that you should not get access to that body camera footage unless, but let's be honest, there's a case here in Southern California. The guy's name is Vinny Fondario. Vinny Fondario is being harassed and stalked by the Riverside Police Department in Southern California, and we cannot get the body camera footage to confirm exactly what he is saying. His name is Vinny. Now, Vinny's a funny little character. It doesn't matter if you like Vinny or you don't like Vinny, he's being massively harassed by the Riverside Police Department. And what has happened when I filed to try to get those body camera footage from the Riverside Police Department, number one, I didn't get to file on a piece of paper. I had to file through a portal. So what I did is I took pictures every step of exactly what I was doing on the portal. And you know what happened? They denied me the body camera footage in every single case that I requested it. And that is because you have cops who are on the legislatures of your city, your city council. And I don't think that people really are paying attention to it. Remember, I just lost a federal case, which we're appealing to the Ninth Circuit. Thank you for your support. That we're appealing to the Ninth Circuit. That the jury foreman was the wife of a cop. So when you get that authoritarian perspective, what they're doing is they're using policy, procedure, and protocol to make sure that you and I cannot get the body camera footage. We simply can't get it. And it's ubiquitous across all states, not just California. Put a 1 in the chat if you're not from California and you can't get the body camera footage. It's incredible. It truly, truly is incredible. And it's because of who's in office in specific different locations in your city, in your state, in your city council. If you have police on your city council, they could be passing ordinances that'll make it harder for you to get the body camera footage. You understand that? Make it harder for you to get the body camera footage. And that's who's elected on your city councils and in your local state government are ex-cops. And these guys are well funded through the Fraternal Order of Police. That's what's happening. You guys, we're witnessing it. I think everybody here has struggled to get body camera footage. I guarantee you, I know for a fact that I have. I can't get body camera footage, not just in California. In Arizona, I got pulled over and I got a ticket. Okay, I got pulled over and I got a ticket. And when I got pulled over and I got a ticket in Arizona, I filed for the body camera footage. Well, we had a trial and I was found guilty of that traffic infraction of an illegal U-turn or whatever it was. And I didn't get the body camera footage till long after the trial was over. The trial was over and done. Then when I got the body camera footage, it was a malfunction and it didn't work. The DVD didn't work. I waited for 16 months for that DVD, for that body camera footage. Do you understand? We have a major problem in our country where we cannot get the body camera footage because we have police in legislative positions. We have ex-cops who are funded by the Fraternal Order Police in legislative positions. And we have got to be aware and understand exactly what's happening in this country. And let me tell you something. If they open 100 new dungeons across America, like they're talking about doing, right? With these $175 billion that ICE has to build detention centers, don't you buy it for a second. Those detention centers are for you and for me. Right now, they're for brown people. But when the robot force takes over, and let me tell you something, you think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. When the robot force takes over and you revolt, you're gonna be put in those warehouses that ICE is building now. Do you understand that? I believe it. They're gonna run every brown immigrant out of this country and they're gonna get them all, right? And then those detention centers, when they bring in the robot force to pick the strawberries, to do the plumbing, the dishes, the fast food, the driving, everything, those detention centers are for you, Jack. Yeah. That's what's really going on in this country. That's what's really going on. It's right beneath your nose. You're watching it happen. You're aware of it. You're aware of it. And it goes far more, because when you build 100 new detention centers, they're freaking dungeons. It's a freaking dungeon. Do you understand that, right? It's not a detention center. It's freezing ass cold on concrete and steel, disgusting, horrific conditions. The sink is on the back of the shitter. It's disgusting. It's horrible. It's nasty. It's dirty. It is not at all a detention center. It's a dungeon where you're housed, where your skin is kept, and there's a very small elite percentage of people at the top of Core Civic and Geo Group who are getting rich as off of your skin in that dungeon. And let me tell you something, after we get rid of all the bad brown people and they bring in the robot force, your skin goes in those dungeons next. Oh yes, it does. Oh yeah, you go in next. Don't forget it, man. If we allow them to build dungeons across this country, and then the authoritarianism will creep into everybody's lives, because every one of these disgusting pits that are dungeons that they're going to call a detention center, let me tell you something, Jack. Let me tell you something. Each one of those has to be housed with people who work there. So what happens is the dehumanization process of tens of thousands of men and women who work in these detention centers, AKA dungeons, right? And now say there's 100 of them. So you got tens of thousands of new guards who have a shiny badge on, right? And they become desensitized. And then what happens? That goes home to your house, to your niece, to your nephew, to your cousin. And then you get that thing where, oh man, we have to think about how the cop feels. We have to think about how the cop feels in this situation because my cousin works at a detention center. Don't you dare call it a detention center in this chat. You call it what it is. It is a fucking dungeon, an outright dungeon, a disgusting coffin that nobody should have to live in unless they've committed murder or they've touched a child inappropriately or a woman and raped her. Other than that, there's no reason why people should be treated the way we're treated inside of these dungeons. There's a girl I follow on Instagram from Norway. She's married and she's coming back and forth with her green card. ICE scooped her up and put her inside of the detention center, and her stories about it are I wrote to her and I said, that's every jail in America. That's every single jail in America. I said, I want you to write back to all your Norwegian followers and tell them this is how Americans are treated in America if you're arrested because you don't get along with a cop or you film him. So I'm just telling you, policy, procedure, and protocol equals you go to the dungeon. And the more you cheer on locking up people, lock them up. It's only a matter of time before it's you they're locking up. I'm telling you, man, I'm not some crazy conspiracy theorist. You guys know this about me, but I'm telling you that's coming. They're building a whole robot force to replace us, 100,000%. And they're building these detention centers to detain you, to put you in a cage. When you say, I don't have a job, I have no purpose, I have no money. My money can be turned on and off by the social credit score system that you created. That's what's going on. Those flock cameras are getting cut down all across America. the flock cameras are being cut down all across America. Did you guys see the article in Wired? Just came out. I put it on my Facebook page. I wonder why that's happening. You know, I never endorse any kind of anarchism or violence, but I certainly understand when it happens. People are cutting down those flock cameras. That's crazy. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting, says Gavin Newsom. There's no genocide going on in Gaza. So anyway, listen, I want you guys to be I can't see the chat. Maybe I got a pair of glasses on. I can see something here. But I'm just ranting in the dark and just kind of ranting to you guys. What's up? A couple hundred people. You guys double tap the screen, hit the like button. Double tap the screen, hit the like button. What the flock? Hit the like button, playboy. So listen, we got to be very careful who we have in these positions of power, and you guys have to go to your local city council and pass ordinances in your towns that give you access to the body camera footage. You guys, we got to take it on, or we'll live in a total police state forever and ever. And the fight of our lives is for access to the camera footage. That's the fight of our lives right now. Access to the camera footage. Without access to the camera footage, we have absolutely nothing. Do you know when people email me and say, Chille, please help me, and they got all the exclamation marks on the subject line, help me, help me, help me, right? The first thing I write back to that person is, do you have a video of that? Do you got a video of that? Because if you got a video of that, I might be able to help you do something, get you some exposure. Maybe I cover it and other channels cover it, and pretty soon there's enough pressure where they actually do the right thing. But you can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee that. Because when I ask them, do you have a video of that? It really matters that you have the video of that. Not everything's being recorded right here, sir. Everything's being recorded right here, ma'am. No, jerky. You have a video of it. It's on your phone. It goes up to your iCloud in case they delete it from your phone. Because if you don't have the video, you know what? Man, I guarantee you the judge is already going to be against you when you go to court. The judge is on the side of the state. The judge is on the side of the cop. That's what's going to happen. If you don't have a video, well, then I don't know how you're going to make it through. I don't know how you're going to get through anything in court. I really don't. But like the beginning of this talk, the reason why I'm having this talk now, you have to have the video because they're passing every policy, procedure, and protocol in America to make sure that you can't get the body camera footage. F you. You apply, you say the cop harassed you, he was rude to you, but you didn't record it, but you want to get a copy of the body camera footage? The answer is no. The answer is no, you don't get a copy of the body camera footage. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand what I'm talking about. You don't get a copy of the body camera footage. That cop was a real dick, and you really want to get a copy of that. And you want to, I just want to get it because I think the cop was rude to me. And you write that in your request as they put you through a portal. So there's no paper trail, there's just a portal. You got to take screenshots. And then sometimes the line's only this big, so you only see 2 lines that you're typing out at a time. It's a real FU. It really is. And we pay for this, and we pay for it. We pay with our money so that they can have body camera footage that we don't get to see. It's really spectacular. And now in counties all over America, none less than in Ohio, it's now hundreds and hundreds of dollars for you to get the body camera footage because you have to pay someone to watch it and redact it, and it's like $39 an hour or some crazy amount of money that you have to pay to get the body camera footage that we already pay for, and that they're hiding from us at all times. Put a 1 in the chat if you know it. You know they're not going to get the body camera footage. The only way that you're going to be able to do it is if you record it yourself. You have to have a video. You have to have your own video, because if you don't, you're cooked. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't see anything, and I can't see the chat or anything like that. I'm just kind of ranting into a phone here about the policy, procedure, and protocol that we cannot get the frickin' body camera footage. It is beyond me. It is disgusting, and it has to change. It absolutely has got to change. the body camera footage is the truth to what happened. But if we have to pay hundreds of dollars or beg to get it, then I don't know how that is a service to us that we're paying for. You know, recently, a bill that passed in Congress that ICE has to wear a body camera. Well, that's great if ICE has to wear a body camera, but once again, we're back to the which came first, the chicken or the egg. If you can't get the body camera footage, then what does it matter if a cop is wearing a body camera? What does that matter? If you can't get it, then why does it matter if he's wearing? And you know, we see that all the time. The cops can release the body camera footage in 2 seconds flat if it exonerates the cops. But if it exonerates you, then you have to hold it. They need to edit it. You might not get it all. Part of it's redacted. The audio's cut out in some places. Deborah Rogers, where they choked her and there was gurgling and then it was gone. It's just, you can't trust the state. You have to have a recording. Listen to me. You have to have a recording of your stop, because if you don't, you're going to get cooked. They're going to cook you, man. And if you don't have a recording, and that's so funny, so many bootlickers come through and they, you know what, can I tell you this? And this is not me boasting at all. It's just the system. The system brings people to me. And let me tell you something. There's a lot of people, and there may be people in this chat who tell me how much they hate me and I'm a piece of shit and I'm a horrible human being and all this stuff, right? And then it only has to happen to them one time. And then they write me an email or they put in my comments, Chille, I'm so sorry, man. I hated you for so long, and it happened to me. It happened to my brother. It happened to my cousin. And it's just a horrific system. And once it happens to you and you can't get the body camera footage, oh my fucking God, you're so angry because the cop came in your house, smacked your wife, kicked your dog, and you're like, holy shit, this guy just smacked my wife and kicked my dog. And you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna sue him and I'm gonna get the body camera footage. And then you can't get it. And you think I'm joking. You think I'm like exaggerating where a cop would smack your wife and kick your dog. I am not. I am not at all exaggerating. I am not at all making up things. I've seen far worse. Remember, Botham Jean in Dallas was sitting on his couch eating a bowl of ice cream when the cop walked in and blew him away. So don't sit here and tell me that I'm talking hyperbole. I'm telling you the truth. And then here's the worst part about it. Amber Geiger, that was her name. Here's the worst part about it. After your cousin or your brother or your best friend or your lover is killed by the police, the body camera footage is so hard to get. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. You know, but that's not the worst part. It's not just the people who get killed, because eventually, a la like Ronald Green was murdered by the police. Eventually, 3 years later, they hit it. The body camera footage came out. But it's worse than that, because when it's a minor thing, like this cop was an asshole, he was rude the way he talked, he was a dick, and I just want to get a copy of that body camera footage so I can file a proper complaint. And then you go through the portal and you simply cannot get that body camera footage. And really, that's all you wanted. That's all you wanted. You wanted that body camera footage because you could then file a proper complaint on that dude who was a total fucking dick to you in front of your wife. I mean, look, and you think, so like, let's take a very simple sample. Talk about this. Talk about, I'm glad someone is a member. Thank you. I can't see it, but thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. So now think about this. Just think about this for a second, okay? You're doing something with your husband or your wife or your partner or a date. Just say a date, right? And the cops come running up, and all of a sudden you're in torture cuffs, you're in handcuffs, but your date is not, or your wife or your husband or whoever you're with, your mother, whatever. Cops come running up, put you in handcuffs, and there you are. It's either a brand new friend or it's a lifelong friend. I don't care which scenario you put yourself in. But here's what happens. Cop runs up, says, oh my God, you fit the description of a robbery. And they put you in handcuffs. And then the sergeant comes on the scene. Now you've been in handcuffs for like 10, 15 minutes. And the cop is talking to you like you're the criminal that he's looking for. right? Well, the sergeant gets to the scene and they go, what is this? And he goes, oh, I got a guy in a blue jacket here and I detained him. Okay, fine. And you go, okay, for what's the reasonable articulable suspicion? Yeah, 4 nights ago, this 7-Eleven got robbed by a guy in a blue jacket. And the sergeant says, what did you just say? And he says, yeah. He says, 4 days ago, the officer tells the sergeant that a guy in a blue jacket robbed this 7-Eleven. So he grabbed you in front of your mother or in front of your brand new date and put you in torture cuffs, and you were in torture cuffs for 20 minutes before the sergeant got there. Now, you want to get that body camera footage because you want it for your civil case. But guess what? You can't get the body camera footage. And so then let me tell you what happens, and here's how people end up coming to me. You go to work and you tell somebody and you tell somebody else and you tell somebody else, and man, you know, there's just no fix for the flavor that you got in your mouth from that cop putting you in cuffs and saying that you fit the description of a guy because you were wearing a jacket, a blue jacket that someone robbed that 7-Eleven 4 nights earlier wearing a blue jacket. So now everybody wearing a blue jacket has to go in torture cuffs. Now you go tell people, and people don't understand how bad those torture cuffs hurt, how much it was a humiliation for you to be put in chains in front of your mother or your brand new date or your brother. I don't care. It was a fucking humiliation to be put in chains. And then the cops sat there and talked down to you and berated you and asked you how many 7-Elevens you robbed. Have you been in this area for very long? Were you just casing this joint? I mean, all kinds of just disrespectful, intrusive, arrogant, rude questions, especially in front of your mother, your brother, your sister, your brand new date, your girlfriend of 2 months. I don't give a shit who he's asking those questions in front of, but then you don't know the game. You don't understand this game is that you invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. So now you're going back and forth with the cop, but you're in chains, buddy. You're in chains because their policy says that if they detain somebody, that you go in torture cuffs. So you're in chains and you're just, oh my God, these hurt so bad. And now you did invoke your Fifth Amendment right because you don't know this game. You don't know the game that they're playing with you. It's a game. How long can you sit there in the torture cuffs and not complain? They're just snug enough to hurt a lot. Oh, only after a few minutes though. Torture cuffs are always torture. Put it in the comment section. The game is that you have a back and forth with them. That's what they want. That's what they're dying for it. They need you to talk to them for them to get anywhere in their investigation against you. It is such a fucking scam because those torture cuffs are always torture. Very few times have I been in torture cuffs and they weren't torture. Now, there were a couple of times that I was not tortured in torture cuffs. That is true. That is true. A couple of times when they were applied properly and not horrifically hard on my wrists. But anytime the cop put those torture cuffs on my wrists in a real significant way and put them on snug, it was only a few. Torture cuffs are always torture. I mean, you're in a lot of pain. If they put the torture cuffs on snug, you are going to sit there, you are going to grimace, you will cry if they're on just a little too snug. If they're on a little too snug, you might cry from pain if you're not used to being in pain, if you're not doing jujitsu or wrestling or something where you're used to being in significant pain for an extended period of time. And that significant pain might last from the time you get detained all the way till they get you down to the dungeon. Now, when they get you behind the dungeon walls, that's where the game totally changes. That's where if you do not submit your will, they will off you. They will off you. If you throw a fit, let me tell you something. The thing in the jail, when I was in jail in 2024 for 4 months, when I was in jail, over the loudspeaker, there's like, I don't know, 10, 15 floors of jail where I was in Clark County. And over the loudspeaker, there would be an announcement. We got a white male, 35, coming in, code 4, code 2, whatever the code was. But that meant that guy was rambunctious or rowdy. And the jail guards couldn't wait for someone to come in who wanted to fight them. Thanks for the membership. I appreciate it. I cannot see. I'm sorry. I cannot see it, but thank you for the membership. God bless you, man. Thanks for the support. So what I'm trying to get to here is when you get to that dungeon and they're booking you into the dungeon, you very well could be strip searched here. You're under arrest, remember? You only have to go through it one time. You only have to go through this dungeon process one time and go, you know what? That shit is unbelievably brutal. It is unbelievably brutal. That's why you guys remember when that judge was saying, oh, you know, you want to go to jail. I was like, yeah, sure thing, lady. Like, you want to go to jail? Like, that's what you want to do? Trust me. No, you don't. You don't want to go to jail. It's a horrible place to go. It's a dog shit place where if you don't submit to those guys who have the chains around your body, they'll put you in a chair, they'll strip search you, turn around, squat, cough. They'll put you in a jacket, they'll strip you down naked, put you in an all glass cell and say that you're suicidal. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You will be broken. You will be broken if you decide you're gonna fight back inside of that dungeon. You are not going to fight back inside of that dungeon. There's no limit to what they'll do. They'll pepper spray you inside of the pod, and they don't give a shit about the rest of us. So if you're an a-hole in the dungeon and the cops come in, the COs come in and they got their pepper spray, they might pepper spray you, but everybody in the pod gets pepper sprayed. And you sit there and choke and gag and wheeze because some guy was acting like a Fruit Loop nutball. So, policy, procedure, and protocol is that when you are detained, you will go in cuffs. And if you don't know what that's like, then you don't understand why I have this channel and why I do what I do, why I can drive down the road and talk for I don't know how long about policy, procedure, and protocol of torture cuffing me. I got glasses somewhere. Yeah, here they are. I don't know what's going on. There it is. A couple hundred people in here. We're just hanging out. Team DLZ, put in the chat, everybody. Team DLZ. Is Chevy here? I didn't see Chevy. Chevy! Cope Doggy Dog, where you at? Where are you guys at? Where are you at? I cannot see the chat. King Braveheart is in the chat. What's up, Playboy? What's up, King Braveheart? Good to see ya. John Lunn, my brother. What's up? Listen. What is going on? Oh, Mad Hatter. Go ahead. I got you, brother. Do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do. Yep. You can't. But listen, it always just goes back to one thing. And this is, I just opened up this live stream to just have a chat with Team DLZ and people about policy, procedure, and protocol. As long as there's no governor in any state that doesn't change the policies, procedures, and protocols, as long as there's no governor in any state that doesn't change the way jails and prisons are created and ran all together, as long as we keep locking up, 95% of the people that we lock up are not criminally insane and can be educated. As long as we keep on investing in the bars and the guards and the electricity and the guns and the chains, as long as we keep investing in those things and not the people that are incarcerated, then the longer we will have a culture that is broken. You have people in a dungeon where you have a 50% recidivation rate who go from jail and they go back 50% of the time. That is not sustainable. That creates a society that has a underbelly of criminality to it. It's very simple to understand. And then instead of investing in that person who we incarcerate again and again and again, we invest in the bars and the guards and the chains and the electricity and the pension for the guards, but we don't invest in the person who goes out and does it again. Until we start to invest in people, we're going to have an underground criminal syndicate because there's no other hope for them. You put an F on that person. You say it's a felon, and it's not a violent person. it's, it's fraud or whatever, it's conspiracy, whatever the government says they did bad. And let's say they did do something bad. I'm not going to say that people don't do bad shit. They do. But when you put a felony on somebody without a felony removal program through education, then there's no way for them to better themselves, because they often can't get a job anywhere because they're a felon. And there are some very successful felons who fought back and overcame adversity. But the truth is, a lot of times when someone is dubbed a felon, their life is ruined forever. And they cannot come back from it. They can't come back from it. There has to be a felony removal program through education, where if they get enough education, that felony can be removed. There has to be a felony removal. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a rapist or you're a murderer, you're part of the felony removal program. But if you have committed some sort of ridiculous crime in your 20s, and by the way, there's a proven mental fact that men who are antisocial calm down after 27 years old. There's studies that show this. Antisocial men who can be considered reckless and can be reckless calm down after 27 years old. So we have to then consider that with education and a possible path to some sort of career where they can better themselves, then we have to have a felony removal program. We have to. Or let me see. Let me see what's up. Let me see what's up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There it is. What's up, Playboys? So anyway, I wanted to come on for a little while and talk with you guys. You guys hit the like button if you would, please. Hit that like button, double tap, hit the subscribe button. I just wanted to rant a